fast fire ring. I'm in the middle of a wrestle with my boss, and I find his face right up close to my arse. So I said, looks like you're finally the one doing the arse kissing. At that, he goes and shoves me out the 41st floor window. I didn't want to end up looking like a fruit salad by the side of the road, so I peed myself really hard and fast, and it fills up my pants like a paper bag. One sloppy, lovely, wet, grainy, savoury, flavoury balloon of piss, and it protected me from the fall. Trouble was, I flew into an airport, right onto the runway. One of my pockets got caught on the plane's door. I was stuck to the big jet. The aeroplane took off and flew into the air, and all of me is dangling off the side of the plane. So I peeled off the pocket off my brand new trousers, only Primark, and I ran in midair. I had to match the speed of the plane, or I'd be a lump in the concrete. Ooh, slam! And straight away I was shot by the army. So I peeled off the shells off my flesh, and I ran and jumped into a car, and off I went to Bedford. I laid low for a whole week, and suddenly one day there was a knock at the door, so I peeled off the door frame, and it was my boss. So I said, what? And he said, have you got a toilet I can use before we beat each other up, please? No, I said. At that, I peeled off the protective wrapping off my new door, and then he said, look, you're sacked. So I said, before we get started, does any... Look, right, that's it. I put my fingers under his flesh, so I peeled off the face off his skull. So I was holding the face, tipping it into my mouth. Oh, in the mouth. It was lovely. He tries to pretend he's not bleeding away like mad. It's no good. He can't. His face is all runny. Don't pull my finger lest I fart. What does he do? He stuffs a great big cork into my rectum, and then he pulls my finger. I tried to clench my bum cheeks, but it was too late. Not long after, a few hours later, I woke up surrounded by rubble. It was then I noticed the dead businessman opposite. He was my boss, covered in bricks. Then suddenly I heard sirens in the distance. Could be trouble. So I bought a new identity. I was called not what I'd have chosen, but I didn't have much of a choice. But my dad, what does he do? He sees me in public and starts shouting my name. Hey Mick, haven't seen you in a couple of years, my dad calls out. I try to pretend I can't hear the old bloke, but it was no good. He can see that, first of all, I'm sweating away like mad, and secondly, my skin is peeling away like mad from my sunburn, so I start to run away. But my dad doesn't take the hint, and he starts up a jog. Eventually, he caught up with me. Hi, Michael, says my dad. I don't go by that name anymore, I said. Dad said, so what do you want me to call you then? Don't laugh. I said. My dad looked interested, amazed, puzzled, scared, delighted, tempted, inspected, and strawberry ice cream. And so my dad says like this, no. I said, okay, says my dad. No, I said. Got it, says my dad, getting a bit carried away. My dad said, close enough, I said. And so my dad says, can you peel this potato, please? And he stuffs a great big chunk of potato in front of me. So I said, look, Dad, I've got better things to do than sit here and peel the potato for you. And I rushed down the road. He started crying. Hundreds and hundreds of people give a shit about him and ran to his side, asking, what's the matter, what's the matter? And he said his son betrayed him. I'll tell you what did happen. I thought everyone is going to bring either a pitchfork or a knife and kill me. So I bought a pair of sunglasses, and no one knew that it was me. Brilliant. And it went really well for, say, 20 minutes. Then I noticed there was still a label on the glasses, so I took them off. And I peeled off the label off my glasses. It was then I noticed, everyone noticed me. Shit. I look up at the sky and I see hundreds of angry people flying towards me. Oh no! And that's when we get into the most disgusting food fight. And all the people give each other a bag of peeled fruits of various kinds. and I think I saw some of them using musical instruments and percussion of some kind. So I bought a pizza and I ran right into the angry mob by myself. I tried to use my pizza as a shield to deflect incoming projectiles off my pizza, but it was no good. This is a terrible plan, so I start getting pelted with delicious food, and so I start gobbling away like mad, faster than they can throw out. Ha! Good luck beating that. But then there were dollops of people making a line for the lavatory. I don't like where this is going at all. So then I needed to poop, and I don't mean editing 11-year-old videos of an old man performing stories or poems. I didn't know where to go, so I ran and ran right into an office complex. I thought, oh, this is good, this is good. So it's rush upstairs to the toilet, and everything was a bit too familiar. I remember thinking, I've seen these floor tiles before. It was then I noticed the businessman opposite. He wasn't covered in bricks. He was watching me. And then he asked, fuck's sake, why are you taking a dump in my office? But before I had time to say anything, the angry mob ran into the office. So there I was, surrounded by everyone who hated me. I'll tell you what did happen. They had a shit ton more fruit. So I said, bring it on, bitches. And off they go. They start throwing, and I start eating. And it all goes down my throat in a lovely, round-the-mouth, fruity, bloody mush. Hang on a second. Fruit isn't supposed to bleed. It was then I noticed I had eaten everyone in the room. You may think I'm a bit of a slob, but that's why I don't have a job.